Welcome to Potawatomi Sportsbook Weekly. This is Austin Herdina, Sportsbook Manager. Welcome today by Billy Schmidt from 920 AM FSW and Eric Osterman, our Director of Digital Gaming.
Got it.
I
Nice.
did.
Yeah, I did that time. I thought we were going to get another promotion for Eric.
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe. How about the Brewers? Just swept the Cubs this week.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, back in first place in the division. You know, it wasn't that long ago we were talking about prices of what, like plus 375, I think, for the Brewers to win the division?
I think it topped out at plus 450 at one particular point. Now it's plus 145.
I was pretty down in the offseason when they traded away, I forget the name of their pitcher.
Freddie Peralta.
Yeah, when they traded away Peralta, I was like, oh no, like, are they giving up? But clearly the front office knew what they were doing. This
A lot of young arms. A lot of young arms that trade with sending Durbin to Boston. The haul we got for him, everyone's showing up.
If I'm Craig Breslow, I'm never answering the phone from Matt Arnold again. They did Quinn Priester a year ago, and this one, I mean, last night was phenomenal. Hamilton, who his OPS and his numbers wouldn't suggest that he's been a massive addition or part of the deal, but 3 for 4, a Little League homer, and Kyle Harrison just shoves for 7 innings. That's amazing.
You don't play the game on paper, right? Like, it's incredible. There are these teams that keep getting away with making these moves that at the time don't make a lot of sense. Like the Rays, obviously, are the ones that come to mind. But you don't have to have a massive payroll in the MLB to be successful. And the Brewers just keep proving that, like, there is a formula to winning if you know what you're doing. Like, it's pretty impressive.
Yeah, during the game last night when that ball went under Pete Crow Armstrong's glove. And the whole sportsbook here was just yelling, "Go, go, run!" Like everyone in here was all excited, and then it goes down as a RBI single with an error, but we call it a Little League home run. I like that.
PDC's had a tough couple of days, right? I mean, he gets the fiance yelling at him, and on the south side, drops the fly ball from Frelick a couple of days ago, and then that one last night.
Yeah, that was tough. I think he maybe needs a little healthy scratch day, if you know what I'm talking about. Maybe just sit the next one out, Pete Crow, and try again from there.
He said genuinely laughable. We were all laughing. We appreciate you giving us the laugh, too.
Well, I'll tell you what, Brewers are playing really great baseball right now. Big series this weekend. Dodgers coming into town. Day off for both clubs today. We're not going to see Ohtani pitch, from what I can understand, because he just pitched yesterday. But we're still going to see some tough Dodgers in here. If you look at the season last year, I believe we swept the Dodgers both times we played them in the regular season. Yep. In the playoffs, it was a different story, unfortunately.
6-0 and 4-0.
Yeah, yep. But, hey, this is the regular season. This is coming to Milwaukee. I'm excited for the series. I think the fans are going to be excited. Don't forget about our shuttles. If you are coming and you plan on going to the Brewers and Dodgers games, come to our sportsbook. Either place a bet or have a purchase at our restaurant or bar. You're going to get a bracelet. That bracelet gets you on the shuttle, dropped off right at the stadium. And then after the game, picks you right back up, drops you right back off at our sportsbook. Couldn't really make it any easier. Save, from that premium parking they're going to charge you for the Dodgers events.
Well, even better, there's a lot of places that offer shuttles in the city. There's a lot. You know what? The only one that actually could potentially pay you to take it is this one.
That's right.
There's only one that could potentially give you money and put it back in your pocket for giving you a free ride to the game. It feels like something you just have to take advantage of.
And speaking of that, if you want to ride the Brewers on this sort of little run that they're on, you're probably going to get some good prices this weekend, right? I mean, the Dodgers always, especially with their starting pitching, it seems like they're maybe slightly overvalued. Like, hard to say that with the run that they've been on the last few years, but you can get some pretty nice prices on the Brewers at home. So
it's risky because of the murderer's row at the top of the lineup. One of my favorite things, especially going to the game, is the Brewers to score first and win. Okay. This week, it's always going to get juiced up because you mentioned, right, you're bottom of the first. You got to face Ohtani, Freeman, and Betts in the first inning. That's a tough one, but a lot of times that can be 3.5 to 1. So have some fun. What is it, $5 minimum bet, and you get a ride on the shuttle?
That's all it is.
That's all you need.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's a great deal. Love that we get to do that. Bring our fans to the stadium. We're gonna need it because it's gonna be packed stadium. But fans got to show out. We got to be there for this Brewer team and support them. What else is going on, guys? We had some really, really good NBA games this week.
Yeah.
That Spurs Thunder game 1. I think that's probably one of the best playoff games I've seen in a while.
I don't know that it's hyperbolic to say it's like a top 10 game of this century. I mean, from the game, from the magnitude of it and the arrival of what seems to be, depending upon what metric you go on and what side of the ball you want to play, the most impactful player in basketball in Wemby.
Playing against the back-to-back MVP, right? It's awesome. The game last night, maybe a tough beat depending on what number you got.
That's true.
That was, for your Spurs bettors, that was a bit of a tough one last night. But this series is going to be incredible. I hope it goes 7 games, just selfishly, so I can see more of it. But, Wemby, he's much-watched TV, right? We haven't had this in the NBA for, maybe a little while, since maybe prime LeBron.
When he walked up and dropped down that 3 to tie it at 108 in game 1, it looked like me shooting the ball on my kid's little Tikes hoop from the kitchen to the living room.
I couldn't believe he pulled up for that. I'm like, what are you doing? Oh, okay.
It was incredible, dude. It was one of the funniest shots I've ever seen go in. In the midst of what did you do? 40 and 27? It was similar to when Hakeem played David Robinson in the Western Finals, and David Robinson won the MVP, and Hakeem Olajuwon's like, oh.
And impressive.
I am the captain. I'm taking this thing over.
Impressive for him to not foul out, honestly, in a double overtime game. Maybe that shows how much the NBA has changed, but back in the day, you'd have just taken it at the big man to try to get him out of there, and then you go to overtime and he's not there. But for him to stay out of foul trouble and then have the rebound impact that he had, that's saying something.
David Stern would be smiling. There's no way he would have let that guy foul out.
Well, the Thunder, they found some answers yesterday at least to get the win.
Yeah.
Even up the series 1-1. Both games now going to San Antonio, games 3 and 4. Friday night and Sunday night, both at 7:30, I believe. So come on in Friday night or Sunday night. Come watch them in our sportsbook here. We're going to be having it on the big screen. It's going to be an awesome environment. This other series. Well, before I go on to the other series.
Yeah, we don't need to talk that much about that one. That's a sweep.
What do you think? What do you think the Spurs are thinking about the fact that this young core of Castle and Harper and Fox missed the first 2 games. These 2 guys are showing up. That young core there are some of the pieces that rumored a year ago that were in the role for in the running for Giannis for some of those pieces. Gosh, they must be really thinking they're so glad they didn't do a deal for Giannis right now.
There was some dumbass that said, "You better come correct if you think Stephon Castle's going to be enough to be the centerpiece of a trade."
Was that you?
Yeah, that was me. That was me. And then all of a sudden, but also 3 teams passed on him.
Yeah.
Right? And then he goes 4. They're going to change the lottery rules to legitimately not allow you to do what San Antonio just did. Get 3 top 5 picks in the lottery. Castle, then Wemby number 1, Dylan Harper number 2, who last year with Rutgers, you're like, they got 2 top 5 picks. How are they under 500 in the Big Ten? That makes no sense. Yeah. But people thought they weren't necessarily winning players, and they're getting the best kind of experience you possibly could have. And I mean, Harper is a star in the making. You're just seeing it happen right in front of you.
And you would say maybe they're actually early, right? Maybe you'd think this would be another couple of years away. So for them to do this now, and the way that Wemby is separating himself, they're going to be scary for a long time.
Well, I think that a lot of people thought that last year with the Thunder, right? Thunder go and they have a great playoffs last year. They win it. People thought, okay, this team will be scary. They're going to be even better the next year. Who's gonna knock them off, right? Well, the Spurs have a good chance right now to do that. We have other great teams in the NBA that are maybe taking a step back. All right, the Lakers, they're going to be taking a step back, I think. The Nuggets, I think it's probably the end of their core group to
Seems
be
like a tough
championship
offseason,
contenders. They're going to be taking a step back. Timberwolves seem like a team that is willing to make a move.
They just need something else, right?
Yeah.
They're almost there, but not in a way to contend with San Antonio, I don't think.
They feel like they would need a leader, that the Giannis move would give them everything they need from the locker room and the floor perspective.
That's provocative. Yeah.
But I think the other interesting one from the Wemby's part is, I heard throughout the season, Giannis, there's a lot of questions if he's still going to be valuable. What's his value on the trade market?
Yeah.
No one's going to be able to guard that alien as well as 7'1" Giannis being able to. I think his stock just went up in the Western Conference.
Yeah, I think so. But with this point of his career, nobody's going to pay him, right? They're going to have to give up a load, and then they have to think about, maybe, I don't know what's up on his contract, but he's going to
get a supermax,
Right. So I don't know if he's going to be able to go to a contender like that. Are they going to be willing to give up what it's going to take?
For how good some of these teams are, I don't see Giannis being the center point of a championship team anymore.
Right.
I
Yeah,
think he's
I
going to
agree.
be the number 2 piece. I think a team, gosh, I mean, like Houston is a team that before the season, people were saying, oh, Houston's one of the favorites in the West, right? They did not get it done for one reason or another.
They got burner accounted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they lost to the Lakers without Doncic. So, I mean, what does that tell you?
Yeah, I've had enough of KD.
Yeah, but I mean, that
can
was
have
it,
him.
right? I mean,
You can
they
have
took
him.
the swing with KD with a couple of first-round picks.
Yeah.
There was the thought that they would be in the mix. I think they will be in the mix again. Here comes Boston running down the ramp, and are you able to move Jaylen Brown if he's the centerpiece and you reroute him to maybe Atlanta and get a package back? But I think we're going to get a resolution here rather soon. The shot clock's down for just over a month away from June 23rd, and we'll get a resolution here pretty soon.
So I'm seeing some like offshore places that will offer odds on, where Giannis is next, what team he'll suit up for next, right? Miami Heat are actually the favorite right now, even more than the Bucks. So that there's got to be something to that, right? People are thinking Miami's got a package they can offer. They have the draft picks the next many years. In the NBA, you can't trade like back-to-back years, but they can trade 26, 28, 30, etc. And then they have some younger guys that could be a piece of it. I think Tyler Hero's name's been mentioned to be a piece of it. Him coming back to Wisconsin would be pretty cool. Do I think that that's going to make the Bucks a better team? No, I don't. But is 3 first-round picks and some guys that can be starters for us a good deal? It might be the best we can get right now.
Well, it's also weird when if he goes to Miami, they just become the South Beach Bucks, right? Like, I mean, the competitive window, I don't know what that does in moving the needle.
In the modern NBA, can you play a 2 big man set like that? Like, it just seems like you'd be so much slower than everybody else. I mean, obviously, Bam's an incredible player. He broke, Kobe's scoring thing, which was very sad to me. But like, that just doesn't look like your prototypical modern NBA team with those two. So I'd like to see it, but it doesn't make sense for Miami. I'm not sure.
I still think the painful ones are the ones that make the most sense of like a Detroit. Him and Cade Cunningham would be an electric pairing. And I do think him and Boston is a fascinating development that, if you would have told me 3 months ago Boston would be in the mix for Giannis, I would have laughed. But when, Jaylen Brown won't stop going live on Twitch, I think there's a real possibility that's the case.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. It would be an interesting summer for sure. The other series, the Knicks, they get the Game 1 win after being down by 22 points at home against Cleveland. What was it, 7 minutes and some change, and down 93-71, and they come back and win the game. That was, I don't know if you guys were watching that game, but it was pretty nuts.
As a Cleveland bettor from the beginning of the playoffs, quick lottery ticket shot at the finals appearance. I heard for 2.5 weeks how this Knicks team is going to the finals. It doesn't matter who they play. They're rolling to the finals because every single person on national television is a Knicks fan. They want to let you know about it. And then the Cavs for 40 minutes dominated them, but they're playing NBA rules and not Eurobasket rules where you got to play 48 of them things.
Well, look, I didn't watch the game. I saw the highlights. It didn't overly surprise me, right? Like in the playoffs, you have to have heart. Which is something that is, one of those immeasurables. I know people don't like to talk about it because it's not, a measurable stat, but like you got to show some heart to win the games, and Cleveland just had none. Right, that's really what it came down to.
Yeah, and the line tonight is Knicks -5.5. So that's something that it interests me because it's like, do you look at Cleveland being like, hey, we outplayed them for most of the game, right? They got us at the end, but we outplayed them for 40 minutes. So is Cleveland +5.5 a good bet based on thinking about that? Or is it so demoralizing that you let this get away that you go into tonight and you don't have that same, you're just still lacking that energy, It'll be interesting to see. But either way, these conference finals have been very entertaining, very fun to watch. I'm loving them. Our fans are loving them. You want to come watch the games, please come on in here, watch them. It's a lot of fun on our big screen. 2,000 square foot screen. And then the NHL, right? They got the conference finals started off last night. Vegas with the win over Colorado as a dog.
That was huge. Yeah, great game by the Knights. I was with my daughter last night, so we did not watch any hockey. But I was getting the updates from my buddies back home, and like very, very exciting times. This is a huge Game 1 win, right? Like Colorado's been this juggernaut basically the whole season, so to grab Game 1 was massive.
Well, and it was clear Makar not being on the ice for the Avs, it seemed like opened up some things for the Knights to be able to push a little bit.
Doubt,
and it slows down the Avalanche's offense because, I mean, they will roll on you when everybody on the ice can shoot it with that kind of ability. But the Knights getting up early. My man scoring his first goal since 2021 to be able to get in there. If that's going to be the way in the recipe in the playoffs, that's going to be a hard team to beat.
Yeah, that's what you need, right? Like that's what you're looking for, especially in NHL playoffs where, like, you guys, I'm sure, see it too. Like the NHL playoffs just have like a different level of intensity than the NBA to me. So that's what you have to do. You have to have your role player guys come through for you, and if the Knights can continue that, they're going to be really hard to beat. Like that. Going all 4 lines, that's what you got to do.
Yeah, I want to talk too about PGA Championship this last weekend. That was, before the tournament, he was 200-1 odds. What was his name again? Aaron Rai?
Aaron Rai.
Is that how you say it?
Mm-hmm.
200-1 odds before the tournament. Even Saturday night, at the halfway point of the tournament, he was still 90-1. And we took several bets at 90-1 on him. Some people, betting. I think the biggest one we saw at 90-1 was $100, so 100 to win 9,000. A couple.
Did you have some explaining to do the next day? That's a tough one right there for the book to be thinking about.
Yeah, there was some other ones like 80, but yeah, it was still overall a winning tournament for us because so many people bet the top 10 to 20 guys. They don't necessarily go all the way down to that 90-1 or 200-1 before the tournament, right? So you think like, okay, 200-1, you're just going to throw them out. You're not going to consider them. Halfway through the tournament, you look at, okay, who's in position right now? And it was such a tight field. Like, I feel like everyone was at the same score. Like,
within 2 or 3 strokes, it felt like,
Yeah, and then this guy just comes out of nowhere and wins it at 90-1.
And there were some names there, right? It's not like there was just a bunch of nobodies at the top. Like, John Rahm was there. Scotty Scheffler wasn't out of it at that point. Rory, Justin Thomas, like, There were some big names, which is obviously why he was still 90-1 at the time you're talking about. But honestly, if you're a golf nerd, you probably liked this tournament a lot more than your casuals, right? Like this didn't have the spice that the Masters typically has or the U.S. Open. But man, Aaron Rai hit the shots coming down like that 5-iron, I think it was, that he hit into 16 from like 230, and he just landed it in the perfect spot, had the perfect shot shape, like. He stepped up when he had to, and then, very deserving winner. Obviously made that bomb putt on 17, which gave him the cushion. But, man, to just be somebody who appreciates what proper golf looks like, that's what Aaron Rai gave us, and it was pretty nice.
Are you the guy that I like to see him struggle out there. I like to see them be a little more.
You want the course to
be the superstar, or like to see birdies and pars and big shots like that.
No, I'm going to give you a super boring answer on that and say a little bit of both. Look, the U.S. Open, I like when the U.S. Open is over par, right? Because that's what you expect. The Masters, you expect birdies, right? Like that's, coming down the stretch of the Masters is like the best time ever because you can make eagles on 13 and 15. And, the PGA kind of lacks a little identity for me, right? And you can say the bunch leaderboard was good, but also it kind of it allows you to not really have that storyline to root for, right? Like all of a sudden you have 10 storylines because 10 guys could win.
Yeah.
I would have liked to seen a little bit more separation from the top. Maybe have like a little head-to-head duel coming down, but that's just me being picky, right? Like it was a good tournament.
It's still weird to have that event in May. I feel like for a long time it was later in the year. You call it the PGA Championship, and it's like in a weird part of the season. So it's just always a weird thing to me by the name of the event. You know what I mean?
I still think that's the identity you were talking about. It had the identity of being your last chance to win a major for so long, and them shifting away and trying to get away from preseason NFL. Don't worry about it. No one cares. It is. The August football has never been worse. So if they did move it back, I still think it would make sense.
And I question some of like the venues that they're going to, right? Like they got lucky, honestly, going to Pennsylvania in May, right? It could have been terrible. But to me, the PGA, it's all about, they have these PGA pros that play in it that they're not adding anything to the tournament, right? But I understand the PGA wants to showcase their guys. Well, why don't we have this at public golf courses? Like, I can't go play around a Mink. Well, I could have gone and played Whistling Straits.
Yes.
Right? Like, let's have this at, they're going to Olympic Club, I believe, in San Francisco in 2 years, which is a course you could play. Like, let's have stuff like that, right? Like, let's have this be like a relatable, hey, this is how much better the pros are than your average golfer. I think that would be cool, but, that doesn't
Was it
seem
LA
like it'd be happening.
golf club they went to a year ago or 2 years ago? And, like, that's one of the most prestigious and like exclusive courses in the entire world. I'm with you. Like, that's one of the cool things of it, is being able to go out and see what you would shoot at Whistling Straits. Also, selfishly, another reason why I'd like them to move it back so we could have it at Whistling Straits again.
Absolutely. Yeah, for sure. We agree on that. Look, it gave us some good betting opportunities, which was awesome, like Austin mentioned. And, I don't know what Aaron Rye is for the U.S. Open, but you probably can get still a pretty good bet on him, right? He came so far out of nowhere. I don't think he's going to be adjusted that much to win the U.S. Open. So,
he's hitting the ball well.
Really seeing it and sitting back on it well. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
This weekend coming up, we got Alexander.
70-1.
Ooh, 71.
Wow. What a difference that is. Sorry,
You're good.
I apologize to interrupt you on that main lead-in. But
we got a heavyweight fight this weekend. Alexander Usyk is going to be fighting. We're going to have that pay-per-view on in our sports book here. As well as, we don't talk about it on the pod ever, but WNBA season started a few weeks ago. We get a lot of bets on WNBA. People really like that. So we got all those games on here. It's a fun time for sports. Like, people look at May and nothing really jumps out as like, oh, that's an exciting time. But like, we have Indy 500 coming up, right? This Sunday, I believe. Mm-hmm. Plenty of bets coming in on that already. Just the playoffs in hockey and basketball is awesome right now. So it's a really fun time to come on into the sports book. So we'll see you this weekend. Hope you guys make it. If you come to make the shuttle, don't forget, just place a bet or have a food or drink purchase. You're going to get on that shuttle to the Brewers game, see those Dodgers, and we'll see you at the window. Thanks for watching.